Hello friends, it's been a while. A lot has been going on, but I'll tell you all about it. Today's detail is my very first full exterior detail, and it's going to be on my car. If I can't get it on my car, I'm not going to do it on somebody else's car. So, my car has never been polished since I've owned it. In July of 2019 is when I bought it, and it has never been waxed either, with the exception of one of those car wash tunnel things, and that is not good for your car. So I'm going to wash my car using the method from a YouTuber that I saw and what he had to do when he started his detailing business. We're kind of in the same spot, even though I have two little part-time jobs, but neither one of us have the money to be able to be fully equipped as mobile detailers, so you have to come up with ways to do it. So I thought I'd give this one a shot and see how much longer it takes, and I wanted to see if it actually did a good job. I went ahead and put my canopy up. It doesn't cover the entire car, but it does provide some shade. And I wanted to see if that was going to be a useful tool as well, as I have seen others do. So as I told you, a lot has been going on in the last week. My kid's stepmom was in a car accident with a semi-truck and was life-flighted to Oklahoma City. So I had to make a quick trip down to Oklahoma City with one of my daughters, and as you can see, I picked up every bug along the way. As I said, she is still in the hospital in serious condition, but she is expected to survive. And there it is. This young man started his mobile detailing business with a bucket and a bottle of soap, car wash soap, actually the same stuff that I have, which is the Turtle Wax Max Pro, and gallons of water in the back seat, and he rinsed all of the cars with a jug of water that he stuffed in his back seat. So he would carry all of these jugs of water. So as you see, I'm able to wash the car. Now, I wanted to test this theory because I was concerned that there wasn't anything, wasn't getting everything off of there. So I wanted to give it a try. And I actually was not unhappy with the process, although it did take longer. Cody gave me that blue little brush there. It's actually for the motorcycle tires, but I wanted to try it on mine because I have those great big disc brakes in there, and you can't get the microfiber one in there. So I used it. It didn't really do what I wanted it to do, but it got the job done. So I'm not going to complain. Now, the water jug method is actually not unfamiliar to me. If you will remember, on a couple of my earlier videos, I used water jugs, and I still do, at the car lot when I cleaned the tires and the wheels. And it actually works out pretty well for me. But as far as this method on washing the car, it actually probably would work out pretty well if I had the time. So if I had to do this method over again, I think what I would do is make sure that I had enough water jugs so that I could pre-rinse it. My car, I also do Uber Eats, and I was down a couple of dirt roads this weekend, and as you see, that dirt is on there, and of course, I'm not concerned about the paint being marred a little bit by the dirt not being rinsed off first, because I'm actually going to polish this and wax it today. But that would be something that I would be concerned with, even if I were to be using a rinseless wash. I don't know, maybe that is me listening to all the detailers who have videos out there that I've watched. and you know, you got to do this and you got to do that. And I do try to keep myself low key right now, where I don't want to be like them, because frankly, I'm not. Look at me. I was a truck driver for 24 years, and I'm 50 years old, where these guys, they're starting out in their 20s and early 30s. Some of them are even teenagers. So, you know, I'm trying not to have the mentality that I gotta be like those guys. Now, take a look here. I had to wash that front tire again. My tires turned brown using the APC like this kid used. So I don't know what that was about. It was almost like the sidewall rusted or something. It was really weird. So I think I would probably stick to the wheel cleaner, because I did have to go back. Now that scrub brush, I just got it over at the grocery store. It's just a kitchen brush, but I thought it would go pretty well on my tires. So check this out here in just a second. I demonstrate how you know whether or not your car has wax on it.
No wax.
When you have a smooth surface and the wax is on there, your fingers should just glide, and you can move them back and forth. But I'll show you a couple of times throughout the video, you can't on my car. So it definitely needed a good layer, a good foundational layer of wax on it, and that's what I did today. Now, you see me cleaning the roof of the car. Now, you want to talk about a duh moment? Here in a little while, you'll see one thing that I should have done that I didn't do on the other side is I should have went in the house and got my step stool out. Then I wouldn't have had to struggle to reach over the top. I'm only 5'2", actually just a little bit under. So reaching the more than a foot of that roof is just almost impossible for me. So I have to fling that rag around, and yeah, no. That step stool is going to be another ornament in my car. Here's another vantage point. When you're waxed and polished, you should be able to glide your finger. And obviously I can't, so I want to change that. And look at all these blemishes in my paint. I never knew they were there. That sun really helped me. But learning everything that I have, that's helped a lot too.
Why not? Because they are.
Okay, so I'm going to get started with the polishing. Now I'm using a basic polisher. It belongs to my dad. And this is some scratch and swirl remover from Turtle Wax. And I actually got that from my daughter. And I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted to go with real world stuff, but I did not like this stuff. Not at all. It was drying before I could even get done with the polisher. It was very hard to rub off. It was definitely not something I liked. You're going to see here in just a minute, I reached my fed up point. And here it is. Look at this. It just dries on there before I could even get a good run with the polisher. I couldn't get it to come off, and I was under the canopy, so I wasn't even in the sun, and the surface was not so hot to the touch that I couldn't touch it. I finally had to get a wet towel to wipe it all off. And I went to the tub that actually is my dad's tub for his BMW, and I pulled out his polish, his Griot's polisher, or polish, or whatever it was, and perfect. It worked perfect. So I guess I owe Dad some polisher now. Now take a look at the difference in the two panels. You can't see much out of the one on the right, but you can see quite a bit out of the one on the left. And I thought, oh, this is gonna be great. Did you see that glide that I did? And look, it glossed it up. You can see my parents' house across the street. It was awesome. I was definitely impressed with just the polishing. Now I'm putting on the wax. You can definitely see the pleasure in my face that I could glide my finger across there. The wax that I'm using is the Turtle Wax Hybrid Ceramic Spray Wax. And I really love this stuff. That's what I used on the motorcycle. I really like it. Then I stand up and see this. So that is the prime example of I do not watch the news and I do not keep up with the weather because I simply don't care. So I had no idea there was a cold front moving in. So it was a rush at this point to get the polishing done and get the wax onto the car. I didn't want to leave it unfinished. So while I'm doing this last door, I noticed all of these scratches behind the door handle. And then I remembered a video that another detailer did, a young guy, and he said get a microfiber towel out with some polisher or some polish and rub it in there and it will clean that right up. And it sure did. I'll be darned. So a little bit of polish and the wax shined it right up. Look at my pickup right there in the door. And there you have it. The entire detail took about 5 hours. The wash method was a little more difficult, a little bit of a pain, but it can be done. Took me 1 hour and 15 minutes, so it wasn't too awful bad. The polishing shined up that clear coat really nice, and now it's really slick with that wax on there. I was impressed. Take a minute to like and comment and subscribe. I would love to have you. See you on the next one.